Everybody, welcome back. Today I've got something pretty cool, pretty special. I've been looking at YouTubes for a million years, and the only real law enforcement, and I'm not even gonna say that, guy that would show stuff was like the most prolific law enforcement impersonator ever. I don't know if you guys saw see this guy Jeremy DeWitt, but if you want to crack up, check out this guy's videos. I mean, this guy legit like would wear a full uniform, decked out his bikes. But he's like the only guy that would go through the gear. So he's actually how I got this idea. I was like, shit, I've been a cop for a million moons. Why don't I go through the gear and just tell people if you got any, day-to-day questions on, why we carry this and that and the reasons. Hopefully I can clear that up. So I brought my duty belt home. Just a little something too. Not every police department across the United States has the exact same setup. So what's on mine might not be on yours, might not be on the local guys in your town or the troopers where you're at. It's okay. There's no right and wrong. I've been doing this for a long time. When it even comes down to duty guns, it comes down to who's your firearms guy and what's he prefer. It's really, I hate to say it, but that's where it comes down to. It's who's running that show, what kind of weapon systems do they like, and what kind of money does your agency have to keep you up to snuff. Me, thank God, I'm in a good agency. We have probably the best equipment that are around. So I'm gonna get into the duty belt. To make it easier, I'm just gonna throw it on. Obviously, I'm not working right now. I'm in my little basement lair. So I'm just gonna throw it over my sweatpants, so it'll make it easier for me to go over the crap. So basically, these usually have a belt under it called a garrison belt. And this is just a clip, and it clips just like that, and then you move all your stuff right over it. So I move my magazine pouch. This is a radio clip. And then something kind of recently, not recently, but in the most recent like 10 years, you see guys carrying these. This is a set of rubber gloves or surgical gloves. Now more than ever, especially after the pandemic, you see PPE, personal protective equipment. People wearing a lot more of that. So it's kind of a cool evolution in LE to see people going to that. So let me start. So this legit is an OC case. We don't carry pepper spray at my agency. So I like this container and I put an LED flashlight in it. Believe it or not, if you're on the job or even if you're not, make sure you got a little light on you. It's like, you never know how much you pop these things out and need to use them. I started carrying early in my career in my pocket. There's little cheesy LEDs, and then we've moved up and got bigger and better ones. I actually have I think it's called a Phalanx that goes in this pouch here. It's charging up now. Excuse me, I just ate dinner. Right here, see magazines. You can see my magazines are both slanted the same way, right? There's a reason for that. I'll go over that in a little bit. But these are magazines, the hollow points. We don't carry cheap ammo. We carry the best ammo. Going over here to my gloves. I always make sure when I'm hitting the road that I've got plenty of these. You can carry, I think, 4 sets. Here's 2. And here's another 2. So I always have 4 sets of gloves on me. And me being in the position I am, typically I'm handing them out. I'm like, hey bro, why don't you wear these gloves? Because I'm not going hands-on. Someone younger than me and in better shape than me is going hands-on. So I'm giving out gear, making sure my boys have the right gear. This right here, this is old man style. This is a radio clip. The radio goes in like this, flips sideways. And when I'm just doing like a detail, my radio is sitting right here because I don't have my MOLLE vest, where my radio is usually about right here. Probably what everyone wants to see, and we're gonna do that last, is a baton. I carry that right back there. It's a preference spot. Where you wanna carry it is where you wanna get at it. These, you simply pull it out. This is a friction lock, expandable baton, which means to deploy this, all I do is I snap this thing out, and literally the force of me snapping it out is gonna lock this thing out, just like that. and I have used it. It is effective. So if you whack someone with this, I've had good results. To close it, I don't know if you heard that, but I got a concrete floor under me. You need a concrete floor to close these. If you try to whack it on wood, you're just gonna dent the wood. This little trick I learned now. All right, moving on. So the biggest thing that we have here that everyone loves is this. So this is a brand new weapon system. It's a SIG P320, the Romeo, and a light on it. So this is a Streamlight TLR HL. 2 modes, tip it up. This one I believe is broken, so it doesn't go into strobe. I've given someone my correct one that goes into strobe. But that's, just your index finger works it. Lock it in or pressure. See, there's a red dot on top. Pretty badass looking. If you switch to a red dot, you're gonna notice if you're a good shooter, it's gonna make you an awesome shooter. If you're a mediocre shooter, it is gonna make you a good shooter. It's crazy. So my agency switched to the red dots for the first time ever. Everyone qualified, and we don't give out a good boy. If you don't qualify, you don't make it, you run into hot water, you can lose your job. So it was a difference maker. This is how we carry them. We carry them with a full magazine and one in the chamber. So, law enforcement, that's what we carry them. We are not gonna pull our gun out in a situation and have to put a round in the chamber. Anyone who's been around guns, been around law enforcement, military, there is no way you can beat a guy and get a round in the chamber and get a shot off before it's just not gonna happen. So going back to the magazines, when I said I was gonna touch upon that. So there's a reason why my magazines are both slanted that way. In law enforcement, we teach people, we do everything 1,000 times. When you do something 1,000 times, it becomes muscle memory. You could do it without thinking about it. So we have everyone, if you come up to New Hampshire, you're gonna see every right-handed cop has their mags on their left side. Every left-handed cop has their mags on their right side, and this is why. Because I don't need to look, I can find my mag. I'm looking at myself, because I'm a good-looking guy. I can find my mag with my hand, right? It's out. See my index finger? There's a reason. Index finger's that way, round's pointed that way. I'm gonna use my index finger because you can feel it. I'm gonna use that as a guide. See, look at index finger, magazine's in, gun's hot. So that's why we do that. It's for a quicker reload. Swap it out. So in this job, you go through this training in the police academy. There is a reason for why we have everything in specific locations on the belt. The next video, I'm gonna go grab my vest, and it's one of those high-speed Molly vests where it's got like all this tactical crap all over it. Go with that, we'll go through the taser, with the radio, all the other good stuff. If you like this content, let me know. I'm gonna keep pumping it out. All right, see you next time. See you soon.